Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is October the 3rd, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500 and where we left off on Friday and what my views are going into next week. I'm also going to be taking a look at our watch list names such as Netflix, Tesla, Zoom, Boeing, and I'm also going to be looking at the tech sector, QQQ, and also SMH, which have been the leading sectors to this downfall that we've been having recently on the S&P 500. With that being said, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you are interested in trading with us at Wealthy Mentor Trading, the link is in the description to join us. We have extended our sale for $49.95 into October, so if you are interested in trading with us with custom watch lists every single week, along with call outs on options and market analysis every single day to help you get prepared into trading, day trading, swing trading, or options trading. If that interests you, the link is in the bio. Okay, overall right here, we do have the S&P 500 chart. And as you guys can see, we did have a down week once again. We did look positive going into the week, but Monday came in and we did push down. We did have a bounce at that 4260 area where it does coincide with this bounce over here back on July the 21st. Overall, the market held and buyers did step in above 4260, which was good, and we did close above 4300. Key things that I'm going to be looking at next week is that 4380 mark as my first confirmation. But overall, to see a trend change, you do want to see us above that 4400 mark and essentially above 4425 as your first take profit area if you were to enter at 4400. Next take profit is that 4470 mark, and currently we are not bullish in the markets. So if we do see a push and we break above 4477, definitely we do see a trend change in the markets, and overall it is leading to higher highs. However, right now I'm concentrating to see if we do hold that 4260 area. During this run up, it did bounce from that 4260 area, so buyers did step in once again. I am looking for follow through tomorrow. If we do break 4260, we do have support at 4180 and 4126, where it was the last big bounce over again here on June the 21st. June the 21st, we received a second bounce and we did push up all the way to 4380. Overall, I am looking for another bounce again at that 4260 area for another push higher like how we did here, and we created all-time highs at 50. So going into tomorrow, 4380 is the first thing you should be looking at. All right, that's the S&P 500, and currently I am neutral until I see follow through going into tomorrow. The first name that I wanted to look at that caught my attention during this downfall was Netflix. Now, Netflix is important to me is because during this push down on the S&P 500, we saw Netflix go higher, and I am going to switch over here to the hourly time frame. And as you guys can see here, we did have a nice bounce at that $600 support line, pushing us all the way to all-time highs, a spike here at $620. Buyers got rejected above that, so we did consolidate lower, and now we are just below that 615 resistance line. Going into tomorrow, if you guessed it, I am looking above 615 for entries, for take profits at 620. And if we do break above 620, it is a blue sky breakout. So my targets for that would be 625 and psychological resistance and a round number at 630. These are my two targets going into tomorrow and overall throughout the week. But if you are a safer trader, look for that 620 area to break for a run up to 625 and 630. Like I said, Netflix was one of those names that did show strength during the market push down. So it is one of those names that I am going to be keeping an eye on for a continued push higher going into tomorrow. Now, to the downside, if we do see continued market weakness and Netflix decides to fold under pressure, what am I looking at? 610 is your first confirmation. I would not enter shorts at 610. However, if we do break that 605 to 600 area, I would consider taking shorts below 600 for take profits at 593 and 586, where we did have some price action here and we were stuck in a zone before breaking out right here on Wednesday. Overall, I am bullish on Netflix just because we are pushing higher during the down market. So it's one of those names that you should definitely keep on your watch list going into next week. Another name that caught my attention, it also showed strength during a market push down, was Tesla. Now, Tesla held its own, much like Netflix, and we did hit the $800 level, which was a level that hasn't been hit in a very long time. Switching over here to daily time frame, I am going to zoom in here and let you guys show you guys where $800 was the last time it got hit. So back around, I would say April and February was the last time we had significant push-ups on Tesla around that $800 mark. So going back to the hourly time frame, we are approaching those areas once again. We did hit that last week. Then buyers got rejected and got pushed down. And we are in this channel from that 790 area all the way to 765. What I'm looking at going into tomorrow would be my first confirmation of 780, right? If 780 does get broken, my entry point would be above that 790 area. This is where I see myself entering for a push to $800 to retest what we had last week. And if we do break $800, my second take profit area is that 815 to 816 area. Now, we're going to see a lot of fake outs here on that 790 break. So what I'm looking at when I'm entering at that $790 level is, one, to see if the analysts have upgraded the stock, right? We are day trading, so we are looking for current news. A catalyst pushing it above and beyond, some positive news regarding it. It could be something with Tesla opening up a new factory, Tesla showing that their numbers are strong, Tesla rumors about their end of year numbers with regards to earnings being great. Stuff like that would also catapult the stock past that $800 mark. So when I look to enter above 790, I got to have one of those things behind it to make me feel comfortable that there is something with regards to news pushing it higher. Also, another confirmation thing is to look at the volume. Volume is always king. It shows that buyers are stepping in, that people are interested in the stock. So volume, catalyst, analyst upgrades are key things to look at when you're breaking out past that 790 area for an entry point. Now, to the downside, if we do see continued market weakness and Tesla folds, much like Netflix, if the market pushes lower, I am looking at that 765 area as my shorting opportunity. Now, we did hold 765 here all week, so to me, that is strong support. If support gets broken, I am looking down here at that $750 area, where we also did trend sideways quite a bit here back on August and September. So 750 is an area of interest for me. I would open up shorts at 765 for my take profit at 750. And if we do see continued weakness, obviously look at that 740 area and 730. Now, on a complete downfall, this area right here, 720, is strong support. We bounced off here once on the 20th and once more here on the 13th. So these two areas are your last resort, and you definitely want to look to see if buyers step in around that 720 area. Overall, I am bullish on Tesla. I do want to see $800 break. Another name that is significant to me is Zoom. Now, Zoom has been free falling for a long time. I am going to switch over here to the weekly time frame to give you guys pretty much an outlook. Here we have Zoom making all-time highs at 588, and we've been in a staircase pattern going down here, once more here, February, another one here in June, and here we are in October, and we are at the last line of defense here at that 262 area, where we did see some sort of bounce here. This is a doji candle, meaning that is a reversal, right? Now, if we do not get past that 282, 290 area, this was pretty much a little dead cat bounce right here, and we are heading lower. Overall, we do have some support here from that 230 to 260 area, where we did have some price action, and it catapulted us all the way to all-time highs. Going into next week, I am looking to see if we can hold 262. If we can't, I am opening up shorts down to that 230 area, where it is really important that we hold that. Now, if we don't hold that, things could get messy, and we can definitely see ourselves pushing all the way down to that $180 to $200 area, where it was the leading point to this whole coronavirus push up and people interest in Zoom because they were working from home. Now that people are going back to work and whatnot, Zoom is not being used as much and is not as popular. The hype has died down. Key area buying areas, 262. The best buying area is that 230 area. Now, switching over here to the hourly time frame, what am I going to looking at tomorrow? If we are a day trader, if you are a swing trader, you want to get into a position if we do see a market correcting to the upside and you see Zoom pushing up. So 272 is an area for me. We did push above 271 here, a couple of fake outs here on the hourly time frame. So stay patient. Same rules apply to Tesla. What you want to see is volume, catalysts, right? Some news event surrounding this push up. If we don't receive that, this is just trending lower, and you guys know the trend is your friend. And if you're looking at the higher time frames, such as the weekly and the daily, it's clearly in a downtrend. Now, if buyers finally do step in at that 262 area, that 232 area, right, it would be confirmation that we are moving higher. Right now, the stock looks like it is moving lower, but let's just say if we do see a bounce, what you want to look out for. So my first confirmation would be that 272 area, breaking that. But overall, I would want to enter at that 282 area for a push up to 290 in 305 psychological. Okay, switching over to the 4-hour time frame. And clearly, you guys see we're in a downtrend. So if we do break that 282 area, you can definitely scalp to 290, 305. Those would be two positions that you want to take profit at. And if we do get past this 305 area, we're definitely going to look to test that 342 area where we did receive a huge candle push on the 4-hour time frame with convincing volume all the way down to this 305 area. So above 282, 290 would be your take profit number one, and your take profit number two would be 305. And guys, if you are day trading, options trading, I suggest you close your positions around those take profit areas, because overall, when you look at a name like this, you want to look at the bigger time frames. You're going to receive little small bounces, and they're going to be significant bounces, 5-10% moves to the upside, but the overall outlook of Zoom is in a downtrend. So keep that in mind, guys, if you are day trading, to lock in those profits, because you never know that we can have a continued move downwards. Along the way, you're going to have little bumps up, and that's where you take your profits. And then you look back, you hold on to your money and look to see where the market's going and where the stock is going to be trending. All right. So that is Zoom on the 4-hour time frame and my outlook. Another name that caught my attention is Boeing. Boeing, during this whole push down on the markets, the transportation sector did pretty well, right? So Boeing is one of those names that's part of the transportation sector, but clearly we do have resistance here at that 226 line where we left off on Friday. Going into tomorrow, I want to see a complete break of 226 with strong volume. We did receive some fake outs here. And as I stress to my students at Wealthy Mentor Trading, stay patient with Boeing. Boeing is one of those names that likes to play games. It's very seesaw action, whipsaw action. So above 226, again, what you want to see is strong volume. You want to see a catalyst behind it. And overall, you want to see a Dow, which is the leading sector for Boeing, to push higher. When you see the Dow Jones push higher, you're going to be looking at names like Boeing to also push, because Boeing does have a strong weight on the Dow Jones. Now, if we do break above that 226 and we receive all those perfect catalyst, analyst upgrades, volume, I do see a push all the way to 234 and 237, where it was the peak over here on August the 11th. We could even overshoot to 242, where we got rejected here on August the 12th. Now, if we do have a down week and we see sector pushing down, that Dow Jones losing steam, well, that 216 area is a key area for me. We had one bounce here and another bounce here. So clearly 216 is an area of support. If support gets broken, I am looking at short positions and a take profit at that 210 area, where it is our next support zone here, where we held it pretty well on the 13th all the way to the 22nd. So 210 is an area for me to take profits at. Now, if we do see continued weakness, Obviously, we see 206 here. We bounced off it here on the 20th of September, and once more here on July the 20th. So your last resort on Boeing on a week would be that 206 area to see a nice bounce where buyers did step in on 2 occasions. Okay, overall, I am neutral on Boeing, and like I said, we did have an awkward, weird week on the S&P 500. There wasn't many names that you should be looking forward to the upside. Most of the plays were to the downside, but this was one of those silver lining names that did receive a push up along with Netflix and Tesla. So those 3 names that definitely caught my attention. They did show strength during market weakness, but I am going to switch over here, guys, to the tech sector. And this is one of those names that you should be looking at to see if the market is moving higher. You should always be looking at every single sector, the tech sector, the healthcare sector, the semiconductor sector, Dow Jones, transportation, and so forth, to see if all of the sectors are moving in unison for you to have a healthy market push-up. You never want to have one sector pushing up the market because you want to have all your soldiers pushing up strong together, because that would just show strength and unity altogether. So the first sector that is important to me is that tech sector. Now, as you guys can see here on the 4-hour time frame, the tech sector has been pushing lower ever since making all-time highs at that 282 area. We clearly could not break that here on the 4-hour time frame. Multiple rejections all the way from August the 30th all the way to September the 10th, when we finally got a bear break pushing us down, a bear flag here. Here's the flagpole. Here's the flag itself, right? It broke down once again. And then we did receive a bounce here at that 362 area, where we did have a bounce here once more on August the 18th, pushing us all the way to 375. However, the trend is your friend, and overall, this was the first bounce, the staircase. This is the second staircase pattern, and potentially next week we could receive another staircase pattern, a push up to that 365 area before ultimately heading lower. Now, as a day trader, what am I looking at heading into tomorrow? What am I looking at to see if the tech sector overall is moving higher? 362 is that area for me. If we break 362, I am taking long positions to 365 and 367. Overall, what you want to see in a market change, trend change with QQQ is getting above that 375 area, where it would negate this whole staircase pattern going down, right? If we break this, then this whole staircase pattern going down is neglected, and you no longer want to think that we're heading lower. We're definitely heading higher and setting all-time highs pretty soon at that 382 mark. Now, if we do see continued weakness heading into tomorrow and we don't receive any sort of bounce, well, we do have that 355 area where we did bounce from. So that area is important to me, 355 to 352. I am going to switch over here to the weekly time frame to show you guys why it's important. So heading over to the weekly time frame, I will show you guys here where we bounced off last time and where it could be heading down even lower. So we did have a bounce here, like I said, at that 355 area. Now, if we lose 355 to 352, we don't have much support here on this run up. So you can definitely look to see if we can push all the way to 342 to 340, where we did have some price action here, and we broke to all-time highs when we broke to 342. So this correction could be larger than we thought, and we could definitely push down to that 342 area as the next support level. Like I said, we didn't build much support going up. So when you don't build support going up, guess what? This thing's going to fall all the way down to where buyers last traded, right? Where they bought and sold. So 342 to 340 is an area for me if we do see continued weakness. But like I said, QQQ is the tech sector. So if you are trading the tech names, definitely look for QQQ as your guidance. More weakness that we received was from the semiconductor sector, which is SMH. Now, if you are trading AMD, if you are trading Micron, if you are trading NVIDIA, this is one of those names you got to look at, right? This sector controls all that. And switching over here to an hourly time frame, you guys can clearly see that we did have a bear break at all-time highs at 272, right? Much like the tech sector, we had a bounce, but overall, we are in a pattern going down. Here's your top, here's your second top, here's your third top getting rejected at 260, and here we are closing on a weak sector. 258 to 256 is an area for me that it held here temporarily, but overall, we could definitely see a break below 256 for a push down to 252, where we did receive a bounce here. Now, going into next week, I do want to see us above 260. Now, if we do break 260, we could definitely test 264 and 266. Ideally, you want to see yourself above 266 to show that we are in a trend change and the trend is going higher. Now, the way I look at it right now, key support for me is 252. If that were to break, switching over here to the 4-hour time frame, where do I see it going? 249, where we did receive a bounce here on August the 19th, which was a huge push up to all-time highs. Now, if we can't hold 249, right, 246 and 243 are major support lines, where it was a bigger bounce here on July the 19th. Overall, it doesn't look really good right now for the semiconductor sector. I do believe that we are heading lower just to test these areas right here, as I mentioned, at that 243 line. So what you want to see in a trend change is us, one, be above 266. That's the main concern for me. But if you are a trader such as myself and what we do at Wealthy Mentor Trading, we're looking at that 260 area for your entry point for take profits at 264 and 266. Here is where I would close my position, and then I would wait to see what the market's going to react. Okay. Now, if you're not trading semiconductor SMH, well, and you are trading AMD, Micron, NVIDIA, you're definitely going to need to look at the semiconductor SMH sector to see if you can enter a position with those ones. So if the semis SMH pushes higher, you're definitely going to see a correlation with those other names also pushing higher, because those do hold a strong weight within SMH. All right, guys. So those are the main names that I wanted to look at. We did have weakness with QQQ and SMH. Definitely look for those two sectors to push higher to see if we are in a trend change and for the S&P to move higher. Now, BA, as I mentioned, I did close at 226, so I am looking for a break above that. Zoom, we do have that major support line at that 230 line and 262. Keep those two areas in mind because they will make a great bounce play. 230 is the last resort. Tesla had a nice push touching $800. I am looking for a break of 790. If you are a safer trader, look for that break of 800. And Netflix did really hold its own during this market down push. Closed strong last week. Look for that 615 to 620 area to break higher to create a blue sky breakout. All right, guys, thank you so much. Be sure to check us out at Wealthy Mentor Trading on IG if you have any questions. We post there all the time. And if you are interested in trading with us, as I mentioned, the link is in the description, and that should get you sorted out. Thank you so much, and good luck trading into next week.